Hi, mathematicians. So we're going to do some more measurement this week, and we are going to explore 3 types of measurements. We're going to explore the inch and the foot and the yard. So those are the 3 things that we use in the United States a lot to measure how long something is, or tall. So I wanted to figure out where those measurements came from, because I was like, where does an inch come from? Why is it called a foot, right? So I looked it up. I did some research. The inch is actually, people used to use a long time ago, before there was rulers or measuring tape or all that stuff, they would actually use their thumb to measure how long small things were. So they would just put their thumbs alongside of it, and they would just count how many thumbs fit in. So the width of their thumb was something they used. But after a while, it was like, well, some people have really big thumbs and some people have really little thumbs. So that doesn't seem like a really good way to measure things. So then they came up with a standard size, just one size, that they were like, okay, this is about the size of a thumb, and we're going to use this and call this 1 inch. And then foot is exactly what it sounds like. A long time ago, people would use their feet to measure how long something was. And this was for longer things, right? If you were using your thumb, it was for a little bit smaller. If you use your foot, it's for a little bit bigger. But it was the same problem. Some people have big feet and some people have little feet. So they came up with one size that would be standard. And they figured out that for most people, there's about 12 thumbs inside of your foot. You can actually measure your foot with your thumb. I counted, I have 12. So they made the foot 12 inches. So a foot is 12 inches. And then there was one more size, the yard. And the yard actually came from your nose all the way out to your thumb. If you stretch your arm out like that, you measure from your nose to your thumb, and that was about 1 yard. But it was the same problem. Some people have long arms, some people have short arms. So they decided that they would make one size and decide that's a yard. And so 1 yard is 3 feet. So 1 foot is 12 inches, and then 1 yard is 3 feet. So these things worked to measure things that were really small and measure things that were a lot bigger. So we're going to have to first make those tools so that we can use them when we go on our scavenger hunt. So you do need this paper that's connected to this video, or it's in your packet at the high school. You need a pair of scissors, and you need a glue stick, or any kind of glue. It doesn't matter what. So you're going to cut all these out. So if you notice, the inch is just one little square on top. There's 2 that's a foot, because there is 6 here, and 6 plus 6 is 12. Like I said, there's 12 inches in a foot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 and 6 is 12. So we're going to put those together. And then look, there's a bunch of yards, because 2 of these would make 1 foot. 2 of these would make another foot, and that's 2. And 2 of these would make another foot, that's 3. And remember, there are 3 feet in 1 yard. Okay? So you're going to put all of these together, cut them all out first. And the first thing you're going to get is you're going to cut out your inch. Now the inch is really simple. It's just that 1 square. And there are a couple things you can do here. You don't want to measure this part, because this isn't part of the inch. I just use that to label them all. So you can either fold this part back, or if you want, you can just cut it off and write inch on here. Okay? So that is 1 inch, and you're going to measure things with that. So, you can measure a marker. You just want to line them up. Oh yeah, the marker's definitely longer than an inch, right? So we're going to measure some things with that inch. And then for your foot, there are 2, and they both say foot at the bottom. Okay? So you're going to take a little bit of glue, and you're going to use that part that says foot, because we don't need it for the measurement. You're going to put a little glue on there, and then you're going to stick the other one there. Voila. And that is your 1 foot. Now it's the same thing with the bottom one. You can just fold it so it's out of the way, or you can snip it off and just write foot somewhere. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 inches in 1 foot. You're going to need that to answer a question on your worksheet. Okay, so we have our inch and we have our foot, and the last one is your yard. And there are a lot of yard ones. I don't know if you noticed. Oh, here's all my yards. So there are 6 actually. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to put a little glue where it says yard. All right. And you're going to stick the other ones on there. And you're going to keep going until you have all 6. And then the one at the end, you can just fold or snip it off, whatever you want to do. And you add them all, you'll have your yard. And when you are done with that, you can come back and play the rest of this video and we'll do our scavenger hunt together. It's pretty fun. I'm excited about it. So pause the video, go make your tools, come back and see me after. Oh, good, you're back. That must mean you made your measurement tools. Bernie wanted to be in the video for a little bit. He wants to be a movie star. He'll probably get bored and run away soon. So we have our inch and our foot and our yard. So we have all those measurements and we are gonna go on a scavenger hunt. He already got bored. I had to go get the scavenger hunt worksheet and he took off. Okay, so measurement scavenger hunt. So this is the worksheet that you can either get from your packet in the high school or you can print it off from the lesson on Google Classroom. So there are a few questions to answer before you actually start the hunt. So it says, create your measuring tools to answer the questions. And since we already did that, we're good to go. So number 1, how many inches are in a foot? Ooh, I did answer this question. So you can rewind the video and you can listen. Or if you want, you can use your foot and count. And then the next question is, how many feet are in a yard? How many feet are in a yard? Ooh. Well, I did say that one too. So you can rewind the video, or you can put the two together and figure out how many feet are in a yard. The last question is, how many inches are in a yard? So how many of these inches are in this yard? So you can count them, or if you know how many feet are in a yard and how many inches are in a foot, maybe you could figure it out. So it's up to you. Okay, so the next part is look around your house or outside and find an object that is less than, greater than, and equal to an inch, a foot, and a yard. Name it or draw it. So I'm gonna let you do those other ones by yourself because you can figure those out. And I'm just gonna show you some examples of what I will do for my scavenger hunt. So we're gonna put our objects here, and then this shows the comparison, and then this over here is the actual measurement. So on the first page, it's just 1 inch that we're looking at. The next page will have foot and yard. So I'm gonna do the example with inches, and I'll show you some of the objects that I found around my house. So I was just searching for objects that I thought were about 1 inch, and I grabbed a rock, I grabbed a tangerine, I grabbed some floss, and I have my glue stick, and I grabbed these science beads because I was making something with science beads, and I also grabbed these. My dogs are very spoiled, in case you didn't notice, and they have multiple treats. So I thought, which one of their many different types of treats are going to be closest to an inch. So I grabbed their little peanut butter treats. We'll see. So I have my inch measuring tool. And the first one we want to find, according to this chart, is the less than. So I'm going to look at all my stuff and I'm going to choose the smallest thing I have. And that would be the science bead. Because I know just by looking at that science bead that that's going to be less than an inch, right? So I line them up end to end and check. And oh yes, this science bead is definitely less than an inch. So I can draw my science bead or I can write the name. So I'm going to draw and I'm going to write bead. Okay? So I'm going to draw like a little cylinder. Ooh, what happened to my pen? Dried out? Use another pen. Okay. Draw a little cylinder. And then I'm going to write bead. Okay? Scaredy cat E and scaredy cat A make E bead. Okay. So, I have my bead. So I got my less than. Now I need to find my greater than. Okay. So what would be greater than an inch? You know, maybe, is the tangerine greater than an inch? Oh, yes, it is. I could draw a tangerine. Is the glue stick? Yep. Okay. Is the rock? Yes. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff I could draw. My floss? Yes. You know what? Floss is very important. I really like floss. I'm going to draw floss. It's greater than an inch. I can use it. And it will remind all of you, that pen doesn't work, not that the pen doesn't work, but that it's very important to floss your teeth and keep them healthy. Little container there. I'm gonna write floss, not the dance, the dental hygiene tool. Okay, now I'm gonna look at all this stuff and I'm gonna try to figure out which one is about 1 inch. So I already know my rock is too big. Now this is too big, but wonder about the cap. I can take the cap off. Let's see. Line them up end to end. Oh, that cap is just a little too small. It doesn't go quite to the top. So maybe I can find something that's a little bit closer. So I'm gonna try my dog treat. So this dog treat, I know the other dog treats are way too small because I try not to give them too much food. But this one, oh, look at that. It is 1 inch. It actually works. Oh, good. Okay, so I'm gonna draw my little peanut butter dog treat. It's a little person. This foot, and his other foot, and his other arm, and his little smiley face. There we go. He's got some eyeballs. Okay? And then I'm gonna write treat. All right. Now, I am pretty much done with the first page. Now I'm gonna go out and take my foot tool and I'm gonna do the same thing with stuff outside. So I could measure grass, I could measure a tree, I could measure a bush, I could measure all kinds of things, leaves, all that stuff, right? I do have one rule. Ooh, sticks. Sticks are good. I don't want you to use the same object, okay? So if you chose to do a rock for less than 1 inch, don't do a rock for greater than 1 inch. Don't do a rock for less than 1 foot, okay? Try to just use one object only once, okay? Just because we should have a variety, different objects. It's more fun like that, right? That's my only rule. Otherwise, have fun, find a bunch of really interesting stuff, draw us cool pictures, write some words. If you want to find a bunch of things that are less than an inch, go for it. See how many you can fit in this little spot. And if you just want to find one, that's fine too. So have fun, hunting for objects that are the right sizes. And if you have time, there is a really cool book I read to you in the next lesson about measuring animals. So give it a listen, and then you can do the fun activity afterwards. Okay? Bye, everybody.